from 74 Delaware, and a combined weight of 421 pounds, they are the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, Jay and Mark, the Briscoes!
It is time for your second steel cage matchup of the evening. For the very first time, the ROH World Tag Team titles will be decided inside of a steel cage. The Briscoes, Jay and Mark, defend against Kevin Steen and El Generico.
Once again, pinfall or submission inside of the cage is the only way this match can end.
We're starting the battle outside of the cage here on the floor. And already, Jay Briscoe has been busted open, and Mark Briscoe dives through the cage door to wipe out Kevin Steen.
Clubbing away on El Generico now. And that cage door crashing into the face of Jay Briscoe, busting him open right at the open here. Mark now stomping away on Steen, knee to the midsection.
Continuing the battle out on the floor. Kevin Steen feeling the effects.
Snap suplex right there. Standing moonsault across the chest. Trying to move the guardrail for a little more maneuverability there. Climbing up the cage, but Steen from behind. You see that? Powerbomb into the crowd by Steen.
Also elevates a charging Jay Briscoe up and over, and Kevin Steen now climbing the cage. The Briscoes in the crowd and
Steen putting his body on the line to help his team try and become the World Tag Team Champs.
Well, he's got to bring the action inside the cage in order to get a pinfall or a submission victory.
This is the third night of the four-night August series between these two teams. Steen and Generico dominated the first two nights, defeating Jay and Mark in a non-title, non-sanctioned, insane street fight in Boston, and then winning singles matches the next night in Philly on Death Before Dishonor weekend.
And tomorrow night, they will do battle 2 out of 3 falls at Manhattan Mayhem 2. An immediate rematch tomorrow night. We can see a title change tonight, and perhaps the titles switch back again tomorrow night in Manhattan.
And the Briscoes have won 6 straight falls in 2 out of 3 fall matches, and they say they're going to take tomorrow night in 2 straight falls too.
Let's see if they walk away from Hartford here tonight with the Tag Team Championships still around their waists, as Kevin Steen face first into the cage repeatedly.
To the midsection by Mark on Generico and a right hand. Chair across the back. As the blood continues to flow from the head of Jay Briscoe. The champ stomping away. Double team on Generico on the floor. Steen's been busted open.
Chair right over the head of Kevin Steen.
Turning their attention back to Generico. Clubbing to the back. Forearm shot. Generico fighting back. Big boot from Jay connects.
Time to man up.
And the champs are doing just that. Don't forget, for this matchup to end, it has to take place inside the cage.
Generico trying to pull himself up out on the floor, and he collapses. Meanwhile, Kevin Steen inside the ring, going punch for punch with Jay Briscoe.
A bloody Kevin Steen and a bloody Jay Briscoe throwing right hands, but it's Mark coming to his brother's aid to double team Steen.
And with Generico still out of the cage at this point, the Briscoes can work as a unit on Steen here.
Well, that's exactly what separates the Briscoes from pretty much every other team. The ability to double team their opponents almost at will. Kick to the midsection by Steen. DDT!
Well, with both of the challengers now inside the cage, the tag team championships are in jeopardy.
To the midsection by Generico. Right hand from Mark. Trying to fight his way out of the corner. Generico drives him into the corner, shoulder first. But Jay from behind with a forearm to the back and a right hand to the top of the head.
Firing away on El Generico as Kevin Steen sends Mark Briscoe into the turnbuckle.
Knife edge chop from Jay and a knee to the midsection by Generico. Steen with a right hand. Double team now by the challengers. Jay Briscoe crashing into the cage.
Back first into the steel. Mark Briscoe firing away on Kevin Steen. Ducks that kick attempt though, as Steen now has him by the legs. Slingshot headfirst into the cage.
Oh, he got an assist from El Generico as well. Generico shoving Mark Briscoe in the back, helping to drive him even more forcefully into the cage. Scooping a Michinoku driver. Cover!
Only two. Mark Briscoe not with it enough to be able to dive in and make a save right there on that pin attempt if need be, as he is feeling the effects and has been busted open himself.
Kevin Steen grinding the face of Mark Briscoe into the cage while El Generico continues to dot the forehead of Jay with right hands.
Just trying to cause more blood to flow as Mark Briscoe firing up on Kevin Steen on the other side of the ring.
One forearm sends him halfway across the ring, but quickly charges back in the corner. Right hands, knee to the boot to the midsection. Big running boot by Jay in the corner.
Briscoe's trying to get on the same page here as they double team Generico, as they peel him into the steel cage.
Briscoe's with the advantage right now, but you see the blood on the forehead of Jay, blood on the face of Mark. You know, I don't think any team or anyone in ROH history has dominated the Briscoes like this before and made both of them bleed. Not Samoa Joe, not the Rottweilers, nobody.
Yes, they have both bled at the hands of Steen and Generico. But it's the Briscoes with the advantage for the moment, despite the blood loss. Backdropped into the cage, though. And now Kevin Steen with a hard forearm strike to the back of Jay Briscoe. And just as quickly as I said that, the tide of the match is turned into the favor of the challengers.
Repeated right hands by Steen into the forehead of Jay Briscoe as Generico drives Mark face first into the steel one more time.
Trying to pull the laceration even further open to cause more blood to flow. Generico just working over that cut on the head of Mark Briscoe. Kevin Steen takes Jay down once again.
Taunting the fans here in Hartford. as Jay struggles back to his feet. Kick to the head sends him back down.
Mark Briscoe firing up on Generico. The chin breaker puts a stop to that.
Generico! Come on!
Kevin Steen holding Jay Briscoe for Generico to just fire away. Chopping away the chest of Jay Briscoe.
Generico's turn to hold Briscoe in position for Steen. Series of chops to the chest. And the challengers are starting to assert themselves here. And the World Tag Team titles are very much in jeopardy.
Mark Briscoe trying to get back to his feet and kicking away at Generico until he's able to do so.
Another quick boot to the midsection stops him in his tracks. And Generico once again pitches him face first into the mesh.
Jay Briscoe feeling the effects as well. Kevin Steen climbing to the top rope and looking out over this crowd. Very confident in his own ability here. Feels that he's going to walk away with the ROH World Tag Team titles. Connects, cover, but only two.
Jay able to get the shoulder up as again Mark's face just being grated on the steel by Generico. So the blood of Mark and Jay Briscoe all over the chest of El Generico as Jay and Kevin Steen back to their feet, exchanging right hands, and Briscoe with a surge. A burst of energy and a series of right hands connect. Steen avoids that right hand. German suplex. He just dumped it right on the back of his head.
Came charging Bipasso into the cage. And a big kick. Boot to the midsection of El Generico.
Yeah, both men went for the same move at the same time, but it was Briscoe coming out of the better end of it.
Combination of kicks from the Briscoes. They've got Generico now. In the corner. Forearm shots. Pulling Generico out of the corner. Double team work from the champions now on El Generico.
Big boot and a clothesline from Mark. Turns Generico inside out. Cover.
Able to get that shoulder up. Now they've been focusing on Generico. Kevin Steen has had a little time in the corner, but they're not giving him any more time. Double teamwork at its finest, courtesy of Jay and Mark Briscoe.
Generico from behind, though, again driving the face of Mark Briscoe into the steel. Turns his attention to Jay, looking for the brainbuster.
But down to a knee to block the attempt.
Clubbing away at the back now. One more time, has him up. Jay sits down. Shots to the midsection. Double team from the Briscoes.
Elevating him into the lights.
Generico crashing down on his shoulders. Steen back to his feet. Double chops from the champs.
Double team shoulder tackle. They're going to follow up here on El Generico now.
Mark has him up on the shoulders.
Big neck breaker.
Jay directing traffic.
Yeah, as he went for the cover on Generico, he made sure that Mark held off Kevin Steen so he could not make the save for his partner.
It looks like Mark Briscoe is having some trouble seeing out of his right eye. The blood flowing into that eye.
And into the cage door and out to the floor. Through the door he goes. Big powerbomb by Steen. So close to new champions right there.
Mark able to get that shoulder up. Steen dropped it right on his head. And Generico back to his feet. Poised in the corner, waiting for Briscoe to stand back up.
Huge running kick in the corner. Steen to follow up now. Another kick. Right over the knee. attempting neck first over the knee, and he's still kicked out. And now Kevin Steen hard into the steel barricade, back first. Generico inside the cage. Mark lands on his feet. Going to work with karate thrusts and the kick upside the head.
Military press by Jay. Death Valley driver. Cover.
Generico gets his shoulder up.
Great strategy on the part of the Briscoes. They got Steen knocked out on the outside. He's not going to be able to help his partner out of any pinning predicaments here while he's out on the floor.
Mark Briscoe all the way to the top of the cage.
Generico on the top rope.
Oh no, he's going to try for the brainbuster from up there. But Mark fighting it off.
Shoves Generico down to the canvas, all the way up top, on the top of the cage, with Steen on his feet, climbing up the cage.
Takes away the balance of Mark Briscoe, who catches himself, standing on the top rope now. Here comes Jay Briscoe to help his brother.
Trading right hands. Jay starting to get the advantage. Steen looks wobbly. Series of thrusts from Mark.
Steen knocked off the cage, through the table on the floor.
Generico with a burst of energy. Clubbing blow to the back of Mark Briscoe. Climbing up the top as well. Both men straddling the ropes. Elbows from Mark. Generico lands on his feet.
Doomsday device! Spike J Driller! Cover!
Here are your winners and still Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions,
The Briscoes finally defeat Steen and Generico. They can polish them off tomorrow night when these two teams collide one more time in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the ROH World Tag Team titles. Thank you for joining us for Cage